Hi, this is Claudia with Keller Williams Realty here in Atlanta, Georgia. Wanted to share one of my difficult yet successful short sales. This one was with SunTrust. And, you know, in the end, I had to thank SunTrust for working this deal out for me. Anyway, February of this year, I went to New Orleans and attended all the short sales sessions I could. That's where I met Kevin Kaufman and Fred Weaver, and they talked about doing your short sales but thinking outside the box, changing your mindset, you know, to get more of your short sales approved. So I had this deal with SunTrust, had 4 buyers who actually walked away from the deal because the process was taking so long. Finally got a buyer, and I talked to the buyer's agent and said, you know, this could take a while. Is she willing to stick it out? Sure, she was. So submitted an offer for $131,000, asking for 3% in closing costs, which I think was still a pretty good offer. Anyway, followed up on my short sale status of this offer bi-weekly, and you know, couldn't get any answer. Yes, it's being reviewed, etc., etc. Finally got assigned to a negotiator, Ms. Walker. Try to communicate with Ms. Walker via email, voicemail, no response. One of my greatest pet peeves is a lack of communication and response. Anyway, we kept going. Finally, you know, I knew there was an impending foreclosure date on the first Tuesday of April, so I'd asked the short sale rep that I spoke to have it escalated. She said she would. Still didn't hear from the negotiator on what was happening. The day before the foreclosure at 7 p.m., Ms. Walker, the negotiator, calls and says, well, we got an appraisal done, FHA appraisal done on the property, and it's 112. And I'm like, okay, that's great. And because the buyer asked for more than 1% in closing costs, we're going to deny the foreclosure, deny the short sale, I'm sorry, and send the property into foreclosure. So I said, well, that's not fair. And then she informed me that they had gotten the appraisal value back in March. I said, well, why didn't you call, send me an email to notify me that the appraisal value came in at 112 and that you were only willing to pay 1%, and let me give that option to the buyer and the buyer's agent. I'm sure if you reduced it from 131 to 112, which is a $19,000 decrease, and the buyer had to pay 1%, she'd be more than willing to do that. That was the night before the foreclosure. Called the buyer's agent, we couldn't get in touch. Anyway, I responded like I like people to do. The morning of the foreclosure, Ms. Walker did not answer her cell phone nor her office phone, so I left messages. Well, I consider leaving a voicemail a response if you don't answer your phone. She finally called back and said, well, she didn't pull that house from the foreclosure because I didn't respond at all. So I said, okay, well, thank you so much. Of course, that was a calm thank you, like, you haven't seen the last of this. I got all the paperwork I had on this file. I chronicled every event, every time I spoke to somebody at SunTrust, their names, and it ended up to be 3 pages. And I faxed it to Mr. Sterling Edmonds, who is the CEO of SunTrust Mortgage, and told him exactly what happened. At the bottom, I also said I was going to copy FHA HUD here in Georgia, Johnny Isaacson's office, and Johnny Isaacson is a U.S. Senator, and his office actually investigates what happened and why property is going to foreclosure, more so FHA properties. So I put that in my letter. 5 hours later, Mr. Harris calls back, and he says, I want to acknowledge the letter that you sent to the President, and this is what we would like to do. I would like to call the short sale department and the foreclosure department to have the foreclosure rescinded, but I'll know for sure tomorrow. So I said, thank you, and thanks for responding. The next day he calls back and he tells me the foreclosure was going to be rescinded. The negotiator, Ms. Walker, was going to contact me about what we're going to do with this short sale. The same afternoon, Ms. Walker sends me a nice note saying, This is the short sale approval at 112, 1% closing cost. So the client was so happy, she got a house for $19,000 less. But if I didn't think outside the box and got mad enough to send a note to the president, that house would have gone into foreclosure. Georgia would have had one more foreclosure. That was not really necessary. So just like Kevin and Fred says, you guys need to change your mindset, think outside of the box if you're going to do short sales, because they are a beast. Anyway, I love to listen to Fred and Kevin, their short sale power hours. So thanks guys for sticking with it, giving us ideas, sharing the changes, sharing things that we should try so that we're outside the box and not sticking and taking no for an answer and feeling defeated. Anyway, I will do the clap, but I can't remember sometimes if it's 3 or if it's 5, so I'm not going to do it. But thanks again guys, you just don't know how you have been a great help to me with my foreclosures. My short sales.